Let me drop the volume down a little bit. Great day. Welcome to the House of Cons. I'm Blackjack. Tribe up, man. Hit the like, subscribe, share. Hey, salute to everybody in the house. Salute to my Naga Ambush Predator. God, we gotta set off 5 shots for my Naga Ambush Predator. That's what I'm talking about. Real Naga supporting. Hey, that's a major way, man. I appreciate that, man. That's real love. 5 shots for my Naga ambush predator, my Naga. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's big time. You know, I appreciate that. That's major. You know, I feel the love, my Naga. The love is in the air, definitely. Hey, salute to all my Nagas in Canada, all my Nagas all over in the stronghold of the Naga. Salute to the whole chat, by the way. Hey, salute to Ambush Predator, like I say. Salute to Mo Naga in the house. Salute to Uni Big Tree in the house. Tribe up. We about to tribe up heavy, y'all. We about to tribe up heavy, my Naga. And once again, shout out my Naga Ambush Predator. I appreciate that, fam. Appreciate that, my Naga. I appreciate the share. I appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. And matter of fact, I got to speak up on some other support, because a lot of support come in after the show, and sometimes I be trying to remind myself on the next show to shout the people out, but I got support that I forgot to shout out. I'm not gonna support on my Cash App. So let me shout out the people that's been hitting my Cash App, and I ain't mean to forget you. I just be so busy on my research sometimes, and I run the show, and then I be done forgot. Dang, I got a Cash Out last time, and I ain't mentioned the person. So I wanna give a shout out first off to Lily Wall. Salute to Lily Wall. I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody that's been supporting on the Cash App. Maxine Cross. Salute to Maxine Cross. One General on the Cash App. Salute to One General. Alfred Fane on the Cash Out. Salute to Alfred Fane, man. I appreciate you. Anthony Morgan on the Cash Out. Salute to Anthony Morgan. My sister Jewel Brown. Sister, yeah, my blood. That's my sister Jewel. You know what I'm saying? Jewel on the Cash Out. Salute, sis. Love you. Jackie Salah on that Cash Out. Salute Jackie Salah, always supporting. Gwen Clayton on the Cash Out. Salute to Gwen Clayton. Kevin Poe on the Cash Out. Salute to Kevin Poe. Smiley on the Cash Out. Salute to Smiley. I'm just going back through the list in case I ever forgot you. Salute to Ladaro Johnson. Did I miss anybody? I'm strolling down. Did I miss anybody? Salute to Brian West. And I think that's everybody, Managa. I done rolled through the whole list, so in case I ever forgot you, I ain't mean to, Managa. You know, I just be trying to line these shows up. Sometimes the Cash Out come after the show. Hey, Maxine Cross in the house. Hey, Tahaka Tassetti in the house. Bronze Flat Power Guard in the house. Salute, Tribe up. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting the show, man. We're waking up the tribe, major stuff happening there. Everybody paying attention. You know, the wave is taking off, Managa. The frequency is lifting, Managa. Got a good show lined up, and I'm jacking for thumbnails. I'm jacking for titles. You know, hey, I was like, this is pretty easy. You know, you know what I'm saying. I got my own intro screen, of course, but y'all saw the thumbnail. Y'all saw the thumbnail, right? And if y'all ain't saw the thumbnail, we'll go to the thumbnail and put it up. Hold on, we'll pull up the thumbnail. Y'all know I'm trolling this. I'm still trolling it. I was in my feelings the other day. People hijacking me, so I said, you know what? I'm finna become the ultimate hijack. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat them joy though. That's what I said. It's all fair, love, and war, I guess. Hey, but so y'all saw the intro. That was the intro. This is the thumbnail though. What we looking at here on my homepage. The thumbnail and the title of the show are Black People Native to America. Hey, salute to Linnea in the house. Salute Linnea in the house. Managa, salute Tribe up. Yeah, so that's what I use for the thumbnail. I'm hijacking thumbnails, and I'm gonna show y'all where that thumbnail come from. Actually, I hijacked the thumbnail and the title, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what I'm saying? This is very easy. I'm like, this is a nice thumbnail. I said, brother got his beard taped up, you know what I'm saying? He's asking a very important question. Are black people native to America? I said, you know what? I like his title and his thumbnail. I ain't mad at Managa. I said, let me take them both. Salute. So that's what we doing out here, you know? But we gonna review his video. Then we gonna look at my stuff, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know I be trolling, right? Y'all know I be trolling. Hey, salute to Tribe Boy. Salute to that brother though. We gonna shout out his channel too. I started to tag his channel. I would love to have a conversation with him. Maybe we can collab, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we in the stronghold of the Naga. By the way, I'm Blackjack. And it is, what the day is? It's August 14th. Ain't sliding on by, right, y'all? August 14th, 2023, and it's Monday, man. Hey, I hope everybody feeling good. I hope your family feeling good. I hope your family healthy. You know what I'm saying? And if your family ain't healthy, we're gonna send out prayers for them. Salute, Tribe Up. That's what we do over here. We're one big family. We tried up in the House of Cons. But let's talk about what we're gonna get into tonight. We ain't cut no corner. Let's look at that intro from a third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view. You know what I'm saying? We looking from a third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view. We got this in the background, copper colored only. You know what I'm saying? You know, that sign did used to say colored only, but I added copper color because only one group of people been never called colored and black and Indian and Negro, and that's you, Managa, the Tamarican. So look, the real indigenous people of America, they called you all that. They called you colored. They called you copper colored. They started calling you colored for short. Colored only, huh? They call nobody else. They call Africans Africans. They called you colored though. They called you niglet. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They called you all kind of stuff, right? Bone Savage. They got all kind of names for you. I wonder why. I think we know why. Hey, Madan Kemet in the house. Salute, Tribe Up, Madan Kemet. But yeah, it said colored only, but I threw in copper color because you know we like to connect dots on it. That's always I always thought about that colored only, copper color. Say, well, they only calling one people color. They calling this. They always grouping the Indian and the Negro together because we know the Negro is the Indian. Wale in the house, Tribe But salute. They know they always putting it together, Negroes, Indians, and other slaves, right? Because they know you're the same person, right? So we're gonna investigate from a third eye point of view. You see, boy, Blackjack Tribe up on the left. I got my spear, man. These fake natives, they be talking about you're not a native, you're stealing our culture. They're saying you don't even do the culture. You don't know the languages. Man, meanwhile he's speaking English. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's start right there. They talking about the culture. I'm like, man, you don't know the culture. Where your pearls at? Where your hoop earrings? Your feathers hanging down. They supposed to be up. I'm like, plus you ain't black enough. You ain't colored enough, Managa. You ain't colored enough. You don't look like colored only. How could you be copper colored? You look more like a pale face. So we know the $5 pretenders, you know. They don't know the history. They talking about we don't know the history. We don't know the culture. We know the culture. They shield be fake. Like Jack is on this piece with a real shield, Managa. That is a deadly spirit, man. Like I've been practicing I like working out, man. I've been gaining, you know what I'm saying? I gained a couple pounds, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to drop about 10 pounds, man. I've been jogging. I've been working out with my spear, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing my spear maneuvers, spear tactics. You know what I'm saying? The back spin and to the gut with the spear. I've been all of that, man. I've been practicing my chair, my steel chair tactics, man. All of that, man. You never know when boat ramp energy gonna pop out. Salute. So I try to be ready. Try to eat right, you know what I'm saying, Managa, all of that. Even though I'm getting older, Managa, I ain't old though. Hey, then see we got on the right, we see an ancient Tamarican. That Naga there is in the over there in Europe. He a statue on the building. That Naga so important. They get that Naga so important. They got that Naga statued up with his spear and his shield. He got a full feather head. He got his hoop earrings on, Managa. I should have threw on my hoops. They put him on a building, a tenement building, a pharmacy over there in Europe. You know what I'm saying? We looked at it on live streams before. We know exactly what he's showing off, that shield, that nice shield. I tried to find a shield just like his. I found mine, best thing I could get, and mine just happened to be a real one. Salute. So we showing copper color only. We showing relation. That Naga is darker than me. And if we pull up, if you probably got some pennies in your pocket right now, some of them might be dark as him, some of them might be my color, but they definitely don't look like no red man.
Your $5 ass down.
Like somewhere in between me and this guy, maybe lighter, maybe even on the darker end, but it's a whole spectrum, right? What they say, the mixed multitude, the Nagas, whole spectrum of Nagas, got 10 different colors of American Nagas. Shit, about 5 of them in my family. But anywho, we just looking from a third eye point of view, copper color only. And we don't forget the title of the video though. We hijacking for thumbnails and titles. Are black people natives to America? So we finna answer his question. But before we answer his question, Managa, try but hit the like, subscribe, and share. Before we answer his question, we gonna look at his video. We gonna look at his big dummy video, right? But let me turn off the track. Salute to the soundtrack popping off. Turn off the track, Managa. So let's get into this video. And fair use, by the way, YouTube, man. We just trying to try, but we trying to find out what this nigga talking about. Is he on our side? Oh boy. What kind of music that is? That ain't our tribe. The music sounds sweet though, but it ain't our tribe. Hold on, Paul. Let me turn the music up. Let me turn it up.
I've been doing videos for years now, and sometimes it can be.
Let me run it back so we can hear what he said from the top. I was slacking. He got to get his audio right too. He got his music way louder than this. Even though my shit be lacking, but I'm talking shit. Nice intro though, bro. Nice intro. Nice thumbnail, Managa. Appreciate it. See, our blacks native to America. Hey, Lionel Clements in the house. Salute Lionel Clements in the house. Tribe up.
Video of African history, culture, and worldview. I've been doing videos for years now, and sometimes it can be difficult to answer all the questions I've been getting, especially from videos I've done like super long ago. So I thought to myself, you know, what better way to answer all of these questions and even critiques than to do a video on it. So in the future, hopefully, I can do more of these videos. In one of my recent videos about Esteban Nico, it brought about a lot of discussion about Africans in America before Columbus and about the demographics of native populations in America. And I wanted to express my position on the topic, but more importantly, to iron this out within our community. Because to be blunt, there seems to be a lot of misinformation about it. So let's discuss it. First, I'll show a few clips of my old video about Esteban Nico, and then, you know, we can fully dive in. And if you've already seen the video, you can just skip this part. But if you guys are interested, you can just go to my main
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. We're doing this for educational purposes.
Esteban Nico the Moor, who traveled to the New World with the Spanish, has been described as the first great black man in America. The history of Esteban Nico is interesting because he's quite possibly the first Muslim to set foot on American soil. Esteban Nico's companions were astonished at his ability to communicate with Native Americans through hand signals and what they thought to be indigenous languages.
Okay, indigenous language. What they thought to be indigenous languages, like what? Hebrew? How could he speak with them through indigenous languages? They say he's a Spaniard, Managa. He's a stinky Spaniard, Managa, Spanish Naga, right? Colonizer. Esteban Nico. Let's continue. He's not an African. See, but he started off with bad information already. He calling this man an African, and this man name don't even got an African name. See, man, right here, we could hold on, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Let's let y'all know. Anybody don't know, I did used to get paid to teach. I got paid to teach in college for a few years. Even though I was teaching the trade, I was teaching VACR, HVAC, heating, air conditioning, refrigeration. Don't take it light, not like that's on. Okay, you take it light like that's an easy topic to teach or to learn. I taught that for a couple of years, Managa. So when I look at people giving up information and calling themselves scholarly or teaching, you know, I'm looking at you from a teacher's point of view, Managa. Just being honest, and I can't help it. That's just me. So he giving false information. The man named Esteban Nico. You calling him the first African to set foot in the Americas. You got false information all the way around, bro. I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna go back to this video and I'm gonna let him talk. But I wanted to point that out first. Hey, salute Shannon Butler in the house. Shannon Butler in the house. I ain't seen my Naga Shannon Butler in a while, man. I gotta get that Naga wrench. Man, I ain't seen that Naga in a minute. Shannon Butler, salute. Tribe up. You gotta speak facts if you call yourself teaching.
The history of Esteban Nico is interesting because he's quite possibly the first Muslim to set foot on American soil. Esteban Nico's companions were astonished at his ability to communicate with Native Americans through hand signals and what they thought to be indigenous languages. Native American communities were absolutely fascinated by Esteban Nico because they had never seen a black man before. Esteban Nico pushed forward until he reached the region never before traveled.
Native Americans were astonished because they never seen a black man before. This is what he said. This come out his mouth. And we on the stronghold of the Naga. This Naga really don't. See, man, he talking about people need to know history and stuff, but do you know history? All right, a bone savage clock right here. I mean, candelier, candle holder. French bone savage. You know, the French know a lot about the Indians. They was enslaved in French Indian War, Louisiana Purchase. They was all French in the colonies in Canada, down the stronghold of the Naga, down in the Caribbean. French know all about the American Naga, all about the culture, everything about the Indian, right? The French showed you what it looked like. And you said the Indians, the natives, they never seen a black man. No, that's your words. That's your words. And hold on before we go back to your video. Because I hope you watching. I hope you saw your thumbnail and your title in my video. I guess you don't know about the 10 little nigglets being the 10 little Indians. I guess you ain't know about that. You say you say the Indians never saw black people. How? When that's who they were. Salute. You said, so we're gonna be specific about all this. So you talking the Nagas in Hawaii. You talking we in the stronghold of the Nagas. And the Nagas in Bam. Where my chair at? So make me get my chair. And you say they never seen, hold on. You say, even though the Cleveland Indian mascot in 1925 was on Hamp, a young Negro with his bow and arrow that you can barely see, and you see some of their first emblems. You see the second one, and you see the latter one when they start telling you this red man garbage. Look it up on your own. And you say you see this bronze statue right here of clearly a female American Indian with her feathers. You would call her a Negro or a black person. She got her hoops on, Managa. So you saying that it's the first time Indians seen a black person? You are wrong, Managa. You need to learn history. Salute,
by
tribe up.
Indians. Crossing into what is now Arizona and New Mexico, he saw from a high elevation the walls of the famous city of Cibola, which the Indians called
Cibola.
Hawaku. The legacy of Estevanico is great because he was the first African to culturally, linguistically.
It's not an African, Managa. He's a Marrano. You know what a Marrano is? A Marrano was a Marrano was a Jewish person faking to be a Christian. And that's how he knew Hebrew. That's how he knew how to talk to the Indians. He was running from the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition. He was Jewish. And he was faking Christian, and he was fleeing from Spain. And if you don't believe me, his name is Estevanico. You just said he was Islam. He was faking to be Muslim, right? Let me show you what a Marrano is. Marrano, Spanish to English. Definition of a Marrano used as a disparaging term for a conversion. Marrano, from Jewish prohibition against. See, man. If you want to start teaching and saying you educating, you getting on here dropping videos on YouTube, you looking to say you teaching people, you better know what you're talking about, because there's gonna be other people out here that dug deeper than you and that know more, and they will check you. So you better be careful about what you place on YouTube and what you professing, and you calling people Africans and Muslims, and you don't even know the truth about them. You don't even know the man was really Jewish. I know all about Estevanico. I can do a whole show on you. See, that's a problem with guys like this and guys like me, is I don't look at one side of the coin. I look at both of them. I can tell you just as much about African history as I know about American history, my nigga. That's how I know who I am. Saying a Marrano, Judaism, a Spanish or Portuguese Jew. Estevanico, Spaniard, Managa, of the late Middle Ages, who was converted to Christianity and Islam and forcibly converted, but secretly still sticking to Judaism. He was able to speak to the Indians. We know the Indians knew Hebrew, man. You better start doing research before you come on here running your jaw, man.
And socially navigate the spaces of the New World.
So from the clips that you guys just saw, I'm pretty much advancing the idea that Estevanico
nice
is the first significant black man.
He ain't talking about nothing. Nice dashiki though, bro. Let me look at his background. Let me see. That bro is tribed up. He in the wrong tribe, man. He false flagging. The real Africans looking at this naga like, this ain't how they rock. That naga got on, what kind of, that naga got on a baseball cap, a hotel cap. Come on, man. That ain't how Africans rock for real. You could at least match your dashiki, my naga. Tighten up, my naga. What you watching?
in America, on American soil.
Get roasted.
And some of you had your critiques and your
Let me
comments.
run it back, man. I'm sorry to interrupt. Let's hear what this Nog got to say, y'all.
The legacy of Estevanico is great because he was the first African to culturally, linguistically, and socially navigate the spaces of the New World.
So from the clips that you guys just saw, I'm pretty much advancing the idea that Estevanico was the first significant black man in America, on American soil. And some of you had your critiques and your comments saying that, hey, home seemed like there were clearly black people in America before Estevanico. And I feel like we really need to explore that because the only clear-cut evidence that I'm privy to concerning Africans coming to the New World or the Americas before Columbus is by a journey by a Malayan.
See, this is backwards. He said he wasn't privy to one thing about black people, so-called black people being in America before Estevanico, before Columbus. Then he turned right around and said they came from Africa somehow. That came from Africa. No, you see, he is all babbled up. He is all fork-tongued up. He is all Confucius, my nigga. He don't even know the argument. First off, you got to know the argument. The argument on this side is that the Nagas, the black, so-called black people that's over in America, never came from anywhere. That's what you don't understand, man. See, you can't even argue with a fool if they don't even know what the argument is about. It's irrelevant. So you still want to jump back to put us back in Africa somehow. We come from nowhere, my nigga. We cons, my nigga. And you saying this on the one. Let's see what the one piece of evidence you talking about. I want to back it up one more time. I want to make sure everybody aware. I keep stopping it because of fair use.
I'm pretty much advancing the idea that Estevanico was the first significant black man in America, on American soil. And some of you had your critiques and your comments saying that, hey, home seemed like there were clearly black people in America before Estevanico. And I feel like we really need to explore that because the only clear-cut evidence that I'm privy to concerning Africans coming to the New World or the Americas before Columbus is by a journey by a Malayan king named Abubakar Keita II. And this journey wasn't an exaggeration or fantasy, like it's a clear-cut documented fact, and it was documented by.
He can't know about Bonham Park on the big tree. He can't know.
Interaction with Mansa Musa, and he wrote down literally word for word what Mansa Musa told him. Now, Abubakar Keita made this journey a whole century before Columbus, and you know scholars aren't exactly sure concerning the success of this trip, but it is definitely clear that he definitely sailed the Atlantic Ocean. And there's also evidence to suggest that there were Africans who were shipwrecked in South America and had a lot of contentious relationships with the native population there. Now, many people usually point to Ivan van Sertima, a scholar.
He gonna say they came before Columbus. He keeps saying they came. He keep making us. He keeps saying if you black, basically you are African. He got Charles Darwin on his mind. He got the theory of evolution on his mind. He got the out of Africa theory on his mind. He believed that if you believe out of Africa theory, you would have to call everybody an African. You would call them people over there in France. You would have to call them Afro-Frenchmen, no matter what color they is. You would have to call the people in Japan Afro-Japanese, no matter what color they is. You have to call the people in China Afro-Chinamen, no matter what color they is. Because you believe the out of Africa theory, you believe the theory of evolution. That goes hand in hand. The out of Africa theory and the theory of evolution was all made by racist people. If you believe that every man, no matter what color they is, no matter where they live today, if you were saying you believe all of these people on the earth originate from Africa, what you are also saying is that you believe we all originated from a monkey. And mother, I ain't no monkey.
You big dummy. Now who think you nigga?
I know what tribe I'm from.
Motherfucking word.
I know what tribe I'm from, and this ain't nothing about religion. I know who I am. I know what my bloodline read. I don't got no Neanderthal DNA. I don't got no Denisovan DNA. I am not mankind. You want to be equal, and you want to fit in with them other tribes and Gentile nations, and it's out of Africa theory. That's you, brother. But over here, We don't just run with what we've been regurgitating and told through a hijacked colonizer history from Charles Darwin personally. We don't believe that. We connect dots on our own, and we do our own research, Monaga, over here. We do our own research. We know what the real American Indians look like, and we know they ain't come before Columbus or came from. They was always here, Monaga. We know we was always here, tried up. It's plenty of evidence proving it, Monaga. These cons right here ain't come from no Africa. These cons' name ain't even African. This Khan's culture ain't even African. He feathered up. He got hoop earrings on, and he got a pearl necklace, Monaga, and a loincloth. There ain't nothing African about that, Monaga. So you believe this out of Africa, out of a monkey theory? That's on you, Monaga. We ain't rocking like that. We ain't rocking with a racist theory, Monaga, with a KKK theory. And you sitting there with a dashiki on, Monaga. What a disrespect to the real Africans, Monaga. Salute to the real Africans. This ain't about y'all, Monaga. Just stay out of this one, Monaga. Just sit back and watch and chill. Try but to the real cons, though, like Macan, Brian, Mufladi. To the real cons, Monaga. I know real Africans, Monaga. This fake wannabe, false flagger.
From the Caribbean. He wrote a book called They Came Before Columbus. And personally, I never read the whole book.
Yeah, I bet you haven't. I bet you ain't never read no whole book. You don't sound like it.
He's talking about European visitors after Columbus who saw black people there essentially, or they stated that, hey, you know, these Native Americans told us that they've been trading with black people. And to me personally, that really points or adds more weight to the fact that Abu Bakr Keita a century later was shipwrecked, and some of those black people or those Africans on
what a colonizer story. Oh, sit right back in here, the tale of a faithful ship. A ship loaded with a bunch of Nagas and a shipwrecked over there. Same old shipwreck, bullshit ass story.
You big dummy.
Gilligan Island looking ass Naga. But this Naga is not very intelligent, my Naga. This Naga is very idiotic. He want to sit us back here with Gilligan. He want to throw us in Gilligan Island, my Naga. Man, this Gilligan Island ass, skipper ass Naga.
Journey, they were trading with the Native American people there, and they were sort of in survival mode, if you will. Now, to be honest, I do think that claiming that the native population in the America before Columbus, before Abu Bakr, saying that they were black people, I believe it's a little disingenuous. Because honestly, there isn't much information
the enemy within,
to ground ourselves in that idea. But
he
honestly,
said ain't enough information to ground ourselves in the idea that it was black people in America forever since creation. And I got all this. I'm like literally surrounded by the tribe. I'm like literally surrounded by this. Naga need to see my studio. This Naga need to see my house. This Naga need to see what I got in the front that I ain't even got back here. I need to rotate some of my posters. My Naga. I need to rotate some. This Naga say it ain't. He don't see much proof. My Naga. This Naga is weird. Naga's a weirdo. He's not well studied at all. My Naga. See, this Naga, this the type of Naga would have left my class. He was, Blackjack is too hard, man. He's in there picking on me. You know what I'm saying?
You big dummy.
He left my class, man. I already know he would have left my class. He weak. He don't study for real. I would have been too hard on him. He would thought he was in East Side High. You know what I'm saying? This all good. Let's see what else he talking about.
Mind us saying that, hey, there were groups of Africans here who were in survival mode or who were just here, you know, thriving, if you will.
He say African, he just mean blacks, right?
Of Abu Bakr Keita, essentially.
By his terminology, he just mean blacks.
I personally wouldn't mind that. But to say that there were Africans here, indigenous to America, before Columbus, before Abu Bakr Keita, I don't know about that.
You don't know about that, brother? You don't know about that, brother? Well, what's this? If you don't know about that, brother, what's this? What's all this up here? I know you don't know what it is because you ain't read a whole book in your life. I know you don't know what it is. What's this behind my chair here? I know you don't know. If he watching, it be all kind of people watching. He an agent, Monaga. Yeah, he an agent. Shannon say he an agent. While they say out of Melanesians in Australia. See, man, and the Tasmanians, the Hawaiians, yeah, the Chinamen, the real Chinamen, yeah, my nigga. This nigga is just, he don't know. I'm gonna get to that, dude. I'm gonna let him go, though. I'm gonna let him talk, man. He just shooting himself in the foot.
Karakita actually did make the journey to
And
the
by the
Atlantic
way,
Ocean.
this naga, by the way, just to let y'all know, my naga, just to let y'all know, by the way, you part of the chosen few, my naga. If you here tonight in the spirit of truth, my naga, you in the chosen few, my naga. We live in a world full of of idiotic people. Meanwhile, I don't even have 3,000 subscribers. This naga got almost 1 million. They've got this channel, look, 785,000 people listening to this bird brain, this dingbat, you know what I'm saying? I could go on, and he just spewing, regurgitating colonial lies. And this video this is why I stole this thumbnail in this picture. This video, my naga, great thumbnail, my naga, great title. This video has 91,000 views. Maybe I can get 9,100. If I can get 9,100, I should have put part 2 on his ass. I'm like, switch the title up to part 2. You know what I'm saying? If I can get 9,100, I bet I'll wait 9,100 nagas up, make 9,100 nagas up to say, well, damn, I've been listening to this fool. I ain't even know about all this other shit.
You big dummy.
Y'all open your eyes to outside information. Yeah, it's cool to learn African history, just like you should learn European history. You don't just stop at home. Right here in America, you don't stop with American history. You know, we cons. I don't study. You know how I know. You know what makes me know we cons just as well. Cause I studied both histories, Monaga. I'm saying I studied all of it. I mean, what proves to me that you a con, that you American, is that I studied the Africans. I know their history. I know that's not you. I know that ain't you. You false flagging. You can't do. You false flagging. If you was out there in the gangbanging neighborhood, you'll get your ass whooped. All that false flagging. You throwing up the false flag. That ain't even you. That ain't even you. You tribing up with the wrong tribe. Ain't even you. You bet. If you calling yourself an African, if you call yourself an African, you ain't have opened one of their books, ain't studied their history, and then you definitely ain't studied the history right where you living at or the great cons where you at. How could you claim to be either, Monaga? You know neither. Salute, tribe up. Don't be a big dummy.
You big dummy.
Just fill your cup, Monaga. Fill your cup.
And he found land in South America somewhere, and he was shipwrecked with hundreds or thousands of
see, right back in here, the tail of Monaga ship.
So stupid. So if we want to advance that,
he don't even know how many shipwreck stories there is. He probably think this the only Naga. Oh, this is Naga having the shipwreck, man. They got in the fight on the ship, and the ship crashed. The Naga crashed over there. He don't know how many times they done remixed and regurgitated, rebubbled, re-rocked that same story. He ain't studied. You know, he don't know they use the same story when it come to gas for anchor. He don't know they use the same story when it came to Miguel de Barilla. He don't know about all these great black cons. He don't know they use the same story about Chatoya.
Found ourselves in this idea that there were Africans here before that.
George, which is third in the house, tribe, but salute.
Again, I think that's a stretch. But you know, at the same time, it is important to.
What's a stretch is that cap on your fat ass head,
or not, because it's just important to us as
you
a people,
big dummy,
as a whole, to really solidify our history and our story, and that's why I'm making this video. I really want to hear from you guys.
That's so friendly ass Naga. I made this video, sweet ass Naga. That Naga sweet.
If you don't know your history, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your story, you don't have this solid identity, then you'll be.
Did he really just say that?
And that's why I'm making this video. I really want to hear from you guys. And history is very important for us in the African diaspora, because if you don't know your history, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your story, you don't have this solid identity, then you'll be socially and politically manipulated.
Exactly, Monaga. You are.
For me, that's why this conversation is important.
It sounds like he talking about himself just then. Then y'all try up, because if you know real history, he just described his own situation.
You big dummy.
A true story in the house, proud boy. True story in the house. Hey, he can't see his own story. He just described his own self, Monaga. Didn't he just describe his own self? If you agree that he just described his own self, man, put a D in the chat for Big Dummy, man. Put a capital D in the chat for Big Dummy. If you agree this nigga just described his own story, my nigga. Is it just me, my nigga? He literally just described himself being ignorant, not knowing his identity and own history. This is sad, man. This is pathetic, man. He got 91,000 views on this video. I ain't hating on the views. I'm just saying. I ain't hating on the views. I ain't hating on the man subscribers. I'm like, if this is many people willing to be willfully ignorant, my nigga, willfully ignorant.
That we're in, because the needs and concerns of black people are virtually being ignored or adulterated. And to be honest, I am actually kind of surprised
in the house,
there does seem to be a large contingent of black people, that believe that there were Africans or black people here before the journeys of Abu Bukhari and Columbus. If this is actually the case, that black people were here in America before Abu Bukhari, before Columbus, as some have suggested, what do we do with that information? What does that do for us? Where do we go from there? Does that mean that we completely change our focus?
See, they all talk about African diaspora. Have you studied the American diaspora? Have you studied what really happened when they came to America? I mean, right away with Columbus, the immediately enslavement of the indigenous Nagas, and even calling them Negroes, describing them as Negroes. Have you ever studied that, Naga? Apparently not. Have you ever studied that all of the indigenous tribes that were enslaved by all of the different colonial powers, from Britain to Spain to the French to the Dutch? Do you understand that? Do you and this how I know how ignorant the Naga is too when they go to talking. A lot of Nagas don't know. Everybody talks this African diaspora, right? It's when they go to slavery. They first went to African diaspora, right? They go to the hijack racism, right? But the whole dumb thing about it is, and if you don't believe me, check into it. Do your research, do the math, do your homework. Like FYBJ man say, do your homework, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit different. that nigga, they're crazy. I like that dog. That nigga funny. Hey. Do your homework though. When I tell you this, and I tell you no lies, you're talking African diaspora when it's more of an American diaspora, a Tamarican diaspora. And if you want to understand the truth about it all, slavery in America did not start with Africans and cotton. It started with Indians and tobacco, my naga. Salute, you big dummy. It started with Indians and tobacco. They got addicted to the tobacco right away. The tobacco was the first cash crop, my naga. You got the ancient Indian statues showing you was the Naga, and they started whitewashing them when they came and took the land, and they doomed out versus you with the Papa Bull, and they hit you upside the head, took your farms and took you too, and said, you gonna keep farming this tobacco, it's ours though now, and you belong to us too, cause you our slave. What, no African diaspora? It was the American diaspora, my Naga. You don't know about the Pequot Indians that got called cannibal Negroes, and got sent to Providence Island because they was fighting for their land in the King Philip's War, and they got enslaved and called Negroes. You don't know about the Pawnee Indians that became synonymous. Pawnee became synonymous. That tribe name became synonymous with Negro slave. The Pawnees of Canada and the Pawnees of North America, of the northern USA. You don't know about the Carib Indians, and they made Carib synonymous with cannibal, called you cannibal to enforce their doom diverse. You talking about an African diaspora? Do I have to go down the list about what happened right here? You got the nerve to disrespect your own ancestors, my naga. Just by with that very shirt you got on, false flag and disrespect. Your granddaddy, your great-great-granddad was feathered up, my naga. You don't even look like an African, my naga. You racist SOB. You just as racist as Charles Darwin and any other Klansman claiming that every melanated naga is an African. You just as racist. But I look you in your face and you don't look nothing like them. And they wouldn't even take you in as they own. Just because you got on that Walmart dashiki. I know who. I seen that dashiki in the flea market. I was in there getting some dog food. We were right next to the dog food. That fake dashiki. And that dashiki was made in China.
You big dummy.
Real dashiki.
Now who sent you? Nobody sent me. Say another
fake ass dashiki.
Word, and this shit is over.
The real cons over there ain't even rocking like that. They ain't even how they dress. They got on Jordans and a Nike shirt. You big dummy.
You big dummy.
Slavery started with Nicotania, Managa, and the tobacco and the Negro Indians, Managa. Do real research. Just don't get on here yapping and smiling and giggling and cheesing and grinning, because you're going to get called out. Let's get into the show, though. Let's turn the music back up. We done with him. We done with that clown. Let's get the show popping for real. I got to get the soundtrack back up, Managa. But let me turn the music down a bit, Managa. We just getting started, y'all. That was the intro. They say, Black Jack, that was a long intro. Yeah, Managa. I had to let that Naga speak. I get a Naga a chance to say what he got to say, Managa. Now we're going to call him out. And right on here, I just Google, let me scroll the way y'all can y'all see that at the top? The Negroid found on every continent. So I just put that in the Google search and saying, let's just roll the dice and see what it shows us, right? And you got Negroid on Wikipedia right away. Wikipedia will come up first, right? The only sub races, they called you a sub race, Managa. They say attributed to Africa, right? With the African Negroes and the Hottentots. So wait a minute, it was two Negroid, African Negroes and Hottentots over in Africa? All right, that's one thing. The origin of the Negro race. They want to say you out of Africa, Managa. And that should be the origin of every race if they going with Darwinism, right? It should say the origin of every race, not the Negro race. They contradicting themselves, Managa. They say the pure Negroes. The stronghold of the Naga. That's what they don't know. Keep going. What continent is Negroid? Hijack City, right? They gonna say Africa, Managa, Sub-Saharan Africa, right? Let's keep it going. Not all black people are African American. Oh, there are black people in every continent. Oh yeah, we know. Cool. Do all black people from all over the world actually? Yeah. Let's see. Let's click on that one. And we're gonna let's before we click on it, say there are black peoples. Hold on, let me go back. Let's see what it said in that little script before we click on it. It say do all black people from all over the world actually come from Africa? That's what it says, right? It says there are black peoples that are not from Africa, in Asia, in Yemen. Ain't Yemen in Africa? In the Middle East, I guess they're claiming that's the Middle East. All that's Africa. To me, all of it is Eurasia, Europhrasia, Euro-Africa and Asia, Europhrasia, the other hemisphere, right? And Oceania, it say due to the confusion of some over their appearance, it is necessary. It say due to confusion over some of their appearance, what they look like, Caucasians. Right, let's dig into that one. Let's dig into it. Click on it. My computer went around. It say, do all black people from all over the world actually come from Africa? Why not say, do all people from all over the world come from Africa? You believe in Darwinism and evolution, right? Why not just say, do all people come from monkeys, right? It say, I'm pretty sure all people from everywhere came from Africa. See, he believes in Darwinism, Nassim Child. See, he's brainwashed, he's indoctrinated, Managa. He don't believe in the Most High. You can't believe in Darwinism and out of Africa theory and believe in the Most High. That's a contradiction, Managa. That ain't how the Most High said it happened. You believe the devil over the Most High, you sucker fool. Next, nonsense. He say nonsense. This brother knows something. Vivid Kumar knows something. He say he knows about ethnic groups and anthropology. He says nonsense. Other than radical racialists or fringe Afro. Ooh, this brother. I would like to know this brother. Look at this European brother. I don't know. Look at his name, Vivid Kumar. He's from Tamil, South Asia typist. Look what he said. He's very smart. He said, nah, I ain't even read his whole statement, but the first half a sentence, I know he know what he's talking about. He says nonsense with an exclamation. He says nonsense. He got a chair when he said nah. That Naga had, where my chair? I don't even get my chair. That Naga had a chair when he said nonsense. He said, other than radical racialists or fringe Afrocentrists, he say extreme Afrocentrists, like that dude we just were looking at. He said, other than fringe Afrocentrists, like this dude right here. He said, but also Eurocentrists, no one knows about genetics or human history would say so. He said, no one who knows about genetic history would say that. He said, all humans came from Africa, not only black people. Now, see, that's where he went wrong. See, He got his head was halfway straight till he got right there. But see now, but he at least though, he more in line with his Darwinism than this first guy is. This first guy said, but he be in line with Darwinism too. He said all people see both of these guys are in line with Darwinism. He fooled me at first. I didn't even read the statement, but we see he's Darwinism. They highlighted it. All right, let's see what Matt Rigsby say. Now, but the thing is though, see, I could take the first part of his sentence and I could go a whole nother way with this. I wouldn't say all humans came from Africa. I would say all Negroes came from all over the world. That would have been my next statement. So he took a left turn on me. That's cool. That's goofy Naga. And then we're gonna keep moving. Matt Rigsby. Is it true that all black people originate from Africa? You need to define both black. See? Alright, now we might got somebody that's talking. He said you'll need to define both black people. I like this Naga already. He say and originate to get a sensible answer. But here's some information which may potentially help or might just confuse things. This Naga is pretty logical so far. No, he's not. He said our species originated in East Africa. That is not my ancestors, bro. That's not my phenotype, bro. That don't look like the chairman of the board, my Naga. That don't look like the chair, Naga. No, that is not us. This brother's nonsense. Let's move on. He's crazy. That's not us. He got little earrings. Them ain't us though. That ain't us, my Naga. Let's keep it moving. They say all modern. See, that's enough. All these people believe in Darwinism. Now let's get to Darwinism. I just wanted to point that out first, my Naga. Now let's continue with the show. Hey, E-Knots0407 in the house. Hey, Tribe Buck, true story, Tribe Buck. Let's get to the information for real. That's a lot of ignorant people out here, man. This is sad, my Naga. Let's get to what we really came for now. He talking about the blacks originating in America. Or blacks native in America. Say the Africa Eve theory is based on the hypotheses. You know what the hypothesis is, my Naga? Who know what a hypothesis is? Last time I checked, a hypothesis was an educated guess. So if I came to work, if I got to work 30 minutes late, and some fool talking about, oh man, you woke up late again, I say, man, that'll be your educated guess, my Naga, but you're wrong. There was a little bit of traffic on the way. So a hypothesis is not the truth. A hypothesis is someone educated guess. They say the Africa theory is an educated guess. That Homo sapiens, what's a Homo sapien, man? I'm original man, see, so it might be truth to this, because when I say it might be truth to this, it might be truth in the fact that they're not talking about us. They're not talking about Americans, my Naga. They're not talking about you. They're talking about Homo sapiens. You ain't no damn Homo sapien. Third eye point of view, my Naga. Are they telling the truth? Maybe the out of Africa theory is true. Maybe it's true for mankind, my Naga. It's true for Homo sapiens, my Naga. They say more than 100,000 years ago. Oh yeah? 100,000 years ago? Oh yeah? Well, it's a Naga last name Perry in Carolina who DNA over 230,000 years old going by their science. So this don't relate to us, Albert Perry. Yeah, why we on it? Let's just pull him up 100,000 years ago out of Africa. That ain't us. That can't be us. That can't be us. They said, nah, Albert Perry over there in America, in South Carolina, in the stronghold of the Nagas, they said he got the extremely ancient chromosome that they couldn't even find on the DNA chart. They started calling him the father man. Actually, they say he 300. They say he 3.5 times as old as the out of Africa Homo sapien DNA. He said he is clearly not mankind. They say this here is the original man. That's what their science told you about Albert Perry, who carried a secret in his American Naga DNA that was so distinctive. They say he didn't have no Neanderthal, no interbreeding with Neanderthals and none of that. They say this Naga was original. Go read. They say he got deeper roots. We don't want your sign up, fool. They say he got the deeper roots. They say he a Tamerican, my Naga. They say he older than mankind, my Naga. He said he's an original man. Go read about it. Albert Perry. Right? Where we was at? Let me go back to where we was at. While they talking 100,000 years old, Albert Perry, our great-great-granddaddy, that nigga 340,000 year old DNA. Get the fuck out of here with all this. We ain't out of Africa. They say recent Africa origin of modern humans. The recent Africa, or they say recent Africa origin of mankind, my nigga. Albert Perry been over there in South. Albert Perry, granddaddy, been in South Carolina since 340,000 years ago or so. All modern non-African populations are substantially descended from populations of H. sapiens that left Africa. Except us, right? Everybody except us. Everybody left out of Africa except us. We ain't never over there. Out of Africa versus the multi-regional hypothesis. Okay, the first hypothesis proposed that a second migration of Africa happened around 100,000 years ago. Yeah, whatever. Human dispersal out of Africa, man, debunked. We just debunked it. New research confirms out of Africa. Yeah, right. Yeah, all right. So this is what bro believe in. DNA suggests modern humans emerged from several groups in Africa, right? Not one, right? They say, but a new paper published last week in the journal Nature put this idea to test and concluded it don't even hold up. They say that's a lie. They say it don't hold up. They say especially after we done found Albert Perry DNA. They say you got it. This was in May 25th, 2023. This is very recent, credible research. It comes up at the top of the Google search, my naga. So if you want to deny it, it's in the Smithsonian magazine. They say DNA suggests modern humans emerged from several places, like America, my naga. That is the true origin, my naga. They say the oldest humans fossil found outside of Africa. Those a spear in the game, right? They threw a spear in the game with that one. They say it's out of Africa, just the theory. They say is the out of Africa theory out? Of course it's out. They say all the ancestors of contemporary Europeans apparently did not migrate. Oh, the Europeans trying to distance themselves now. I don't know. The Europeans trying to distance themselves, man. All of it's Eurasia, man. It's one hemisphere. See, when the truth coming out, but see, the black Africans are original man too. See, this what they ain't telling you. The black African is an original man too. All those other people though.
Big dummy.
See, this where it get deep at. Not only is the Tamaricana the original man, the African is an original man too. But we different tribes, my naga. Say, look, was the out of Africa theory debunked? Yes it was. Yes, the out of Africa theory is dead in the water. Bro, it's dead in the water, bro. It's dead in the water, bro. I hate to break it to you, but the Africa Island is dead in the water, man. You want some 1989 stuff, man. We done did more research. We done did 30, 40 years of research since then. He's still on 40 years ago and ain't even read the books. Let's tell him some more about it since he don't know no more. They say, look, out of Africa theory, Darwinism, eugenics, and racism. This is what I searched. Out of Africa theory, Darwinism, eugenics, and racism. I'm trying to teach this man that it was a racist plot to trick American Negroes and other blacks from all around the world out of their land, my naga. So you don't feel ownership on your ancestral land, my naga. You start saying go back to Africa now. You start saying it's the white man land and all kind of stuff, my naga. You done went for the okie doke. You done got indoctrinated. You done went for the brainwash, and you couldn't have did no history because I got thousands of images proving you ain't come from no Africa, my naga, and I ain't come from no Africa. Eugenics and racism in the development episteme. It say, yeah, the racialist thinking view Africans and people of African descent as biologically different from whites. Okay, so did whites not come out of Africa? Where did the whites come from? Do you say all blacks came out of Africa and whites come somewhere? See, what are you saying? See? You got a racist point of view, but then they turn and tell you all people came out of Africa. So who is all people? Are whites not included in all people, or are blacks not included in all mankind? What's going on? See, I read slowly, thoroughly, I double read, triple read. I am a reedy maniac, my naga, if you haven't noticed. They say eugenics and scientific racism. Eugenics, racism grew out of the misappropriation or revolutionary advances of medicine, anatomy, and all of this. Charles Darwin, right? Let's go to that one. Yeah, Charles Darwin said everybody came from monkeys, right? He the one told you out of Africa. Your great-great-granddaddy wasn't on that type of time. Eugenics and scientific racism, the big picture. Let's go back up first. Eugenics is inaccurate. It's not accurate. It's only a theory. It's a hypothesis, my nigga. It's an educated guess. It's only a guess. Linked to historical and present day forms of discrimination, racism, ableism, and colonialism, colonizers. It has persisted in policies and beliefs around the world. Even it's persistent in beliefs around the world, my nigga. Persistent in even knocker belief system, including in the U.S., right? Yeah, including the knockers in the U.S. The big picture. Eugenics is the scientifically inaccurate theory that humans can be improved through selective breeding the population. Eugenics believed in a prejudice and incorrect understanding of Mendelian genetics that claim abstract human qualities. For example, intelligence and social behaviors were inherited in a simple fashion. Similarly, they believe complex diseases and disorders were solely the outcome of genetic inheritance. The implementation of eugenics practices has caused widespread harm, particularly to populations that are being marginalized. Who's being marginalized? You African American. They calling you African American now, Managa. You an Indian. Eugenics is not a fringe movement. Starting in the late 1800s, leaders and intellectuals worldwide perpetuated eugenics beliefs and policies. 1800s, like Charles Darwin, Managa, based on common racist and xenophobic attitudes. Many of these beliefs and policies still exist in the U.S. The genomics communities continue to work to scientifically debunk eugenics myth and combat modern day manifestations of eugenics, like out of Africa theories and scientific racism, particularly as they affect people of color, Managa, colored people, Managa, copper colored racists, Managa, people with disabilities. Yeah. What are eugenics and scientific racism? We know what it is. We just connected some dots. Theory of evolution, right? Theory of evolution, Managa, in the search. Darwin's theory of evolution. Charles Darwin, Managa. Who is Charles Darwin? We'll see. We'll see, Managa. They tell you Estebanico. They tell you Estebanico act like he didn't know where he was going. Talking he was the first Morano. He was the first Negro Morano to come to America. And he ran into all these other Negroes, right? And they said he knew how to speak their language. I wonder how. So don't act like he didn't know where he was going. He knew they spoke Hebrew, and I'm going to prove it. Just like I'm going to prove Charles Darwin know who you are. Charles Darwin theory of evolution is one of the most not so solid, inaccurate theories in science. But what exactly is it? It's inaccurate. The theory of evolution by natural selection was first formulated in Charles Darwin's book On the Origin of Species, published in 1859. In his book, Darwin describes how organisms evolved over generations through the inheritance of physical or behavioral traits. But we just saw Albert Perry ain't evolved over nothing. He's got the older than mankind DNA is 340,000 years old, older than so-called modern mankind. He ain't evolved. He was still the same since 340,000 years ago. So Charles Darwin, you're barking up the wrong tree, my friend. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see. Hold on. Where was that? It's this one. It's this one. Could just put that screen up on me. All right. I just want to connect that dot. In his book, Darwin describes how organisms evolve. Yeah. The theory starts with the premise that with a population there is a variation of traits such as a beak shape in one of the whatever. According to the theory, individuals' traits that enable them to adapt to their environments will help them survive and have more offspring. Man, I've been living a long time, man. I ain't seen not one animal adapt yet. Darwin did not know the mechanism by which traits was passed on according to National Geographic. He didn't know nothing. He did not know about genetics. He didn't know nothing. He was a big dummy. Y'all being easy on him in this article. He was a racist dummy. Darwin chose the term natural selection because he was a eugenics to be in contrast with artificial selection. Alright, okay, get to the script, Managa. Get to this monkey shit, Managa. Y'all seen the picture. I ain't finna read all this. We know what it's about. We know what he's saying. He's saying you evolved from a monkey. So I'm finna go back out of this. I ain't finna read this goofy ass article, and I ain't finna give it no credibility. I'm gonna just go to images and on the theory of evolution. Charles Darwin, goofy ass. He told you Nagas. He told you y'all just like us. Y'all came from monkeys too. Y'all want to be equal to us so bad because you want to like to colonize the material wealth and dollars. And here you go. Here you go. He said we came from monkeys. He saying the monkey came out of Africa. How you gonna disrespect the real African like that? The real black African ain't come from no monkey. He came from Ham, you big dummy. And this ain't about no religion. It's about tribing up. This about tribes, my nigga. How evolution was used to support scientific racism. So you a Pan-African, huh? You a racist then. You a Pan-African, man. You in the KKK, whether you like it or not. Whether you know it or not. You don't even know you a Ku Klux Klan man talking about you a Pan-African. You a Ku Klux Klan-African. You a Ku Klux Klan African, bro. I'm just being for real. It's right here in your face. It told you evolution, Charles Darwin, out of a monkey, out of an Africa whole theory, not the truth, is scientific racism. You are a Ku Klux Klansman. It ain't no monkeys uncles over here. We ain't monkeying around. Did Darwin promote racism? Yes, he did. And Darwin, just like Estevanico, he knew you guys were Israelites. He knew you was Hebrews. He knew not by no religion. He knew that was your bloodline. They say by extending their arguments to address entire nations, some social Darwinists justify imperialism on the basis that the imperial powers were naturally superior and their control over other Nagas was in the best interest of human evolution. It's right here in your face, man. It's right here in your face, man. Charles Darwin. Who was Charles Darwin? You want to know? You want to know how Charles Darwin want to start calling you a monkey? Want to make you equal because he know you the chosen few, my naga. He know you an Israelite, my naga. He know your true bloodline. Just like most of the nagas in here tonight, the chosen few that's in here. We got about 25 nagas watching. Y'all the chosen few. We ain't got 90,000 nagas watching. Like this naga here talking about Estevanico. They not the chosen few. He don't even know who he is. His eyes wide shut. The chosen few over here in the House of Cons tonight. And Charles Darwin knew who you was. Estevanico knew who you was. Talking about he was able to speak to the native Americans. Talking about Estevanico, he was a Morano. Estevanico was a Jew. Of course he knew Hebrew and how to speak to the Indians because he knew exactly who he was. He knew he was coming to the promised land. Just like Columbus knew it. Columbus brought Hebrew interpreters. Just like all of them knew it. It's like Charles Darwin knew it. But you don't know who you are. They say Charles Darwin was a bad Jew, my naga. Look at that. Darwin and Hitler, prominent anti-Jewish. No. Why is this Darwin different from all other Darwins? Yeah. Top article, my naga. They know about Charles Darwin. They call him a bad Jew. Look at that. They got look at Charles Darwin over there like this here. What you think that's all about, Managa? What you think it's all about, Managa? Wise up, eyes up. From a third eye point of view, Managa, not a bird eye point of view, Managa. Y'all want to get deep with this? We elevating the night. Since Naga's jacking thumbnails and jacking all kinds, jacking the Naga style. I said, let me switch it up. Let me do what Nagas ain't gonna do. Nagas ain't gonna put in the work. Let me boil Naga out. We got eavesdroppers, ninja watchers in the background giggling and stuff, taking screenshots, going back to their China acting like nothing happened. I know they watching, but let's see them work with this then. Let's see them work with this. Let's see them put in this type of work. It's easy to get some pictures of the Black American Indian and post that all day. That's easy work. That's light work. So I'm gonna get off that for a minute. I'm gonna get on something else, and we'll see if follow this wave. Let's see how the content change up on the haters and the copycats and the pretenders. You know what I'm saying? That ain't doing their own thing. Managa, salute to all the real Nagas doing their own thing. Even if you all on the same mission, Managa, hit it from a different angle. Managa, don't regurgitate what somebody else doing. If somebody coming in the side door, you hit the back door. We're gonna penetrate the whole house. Managa, salute, tribe up. Be original. Line of Clements in the house, tribe up. Say, what do you get when you cross creationism, crude Turkish anti-Semitism, and children's book? The first answer, hilarity. The scientific answer, a malfunctioning upshot of cross-pollination. The physical answer, a series of Turkish children's books depicting Charles Darwin once a student of Anglican theology, as a hook nose. I ain't gonna. Hey, see, if I say it, they might try to. If I say the word, because they gonna say it's an insult, it's derogatory. They call him a hook nose J. You know, YouTube already watching me. They gonna demonetize my video if I say, y'all know I want to say it, but I ain't the one calling him a hook nose Jew. I'm just reading it off the screen. Who kept the company of monkeys, right? They said he kept the companies of monkey, right? They say Charles Darwin kept the company of monkeys, my nigga. See, this why they don't like Blackjack over here, because a lot of stuff that I know about and that I want to talk about that I'm gonna be putting on the Patreon, but YouTube ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it. They ain't gonna be able to shadow ban and hate on me, because I'm telling the truth and I ain't making it up. It's right here on the computer. Yeah, they say he was monkeying around. They say he was a monkey's uncle. That's what they said about old Darwin. They say he was a. They called Charles Darwin a hook-nosed Jew who kept the company of monkeys. And I quote, in quotations. Fair use, YouTube. Don't be hating. Try a book, monogas. They say, when do inflammatory books become more than just isolated propaganda? After the books are distributed to over 1,000 young students in Istanbul. No, they telling it like it is. They tried up over there in Istanbul. They said, watch out for Charles Darwin. We ain't come for no monkeys. That's all. You gonna trust somebody looking like, man, I wouldn't dare, man. If I had my chair right now, I'll hammer him upside the head. I'll bludgeon his ass, man. I'll send that devil to his grave with an iron chair, my nigga. Looking at me like this, man, you got me in killing instinct. You look at me like this with your finger up and you looking like that, and I hurt you, man. Let me go with something else, man. I don't even want to look at leg glass no more. See what I had something else lined up that I want to talk about here. Yeah, like my Naga, you know, with the hoops, and Naga say he don't see no evidence of the Nagas being in America, man. The evidence all in his face, like these hoops earrings, like Morgan Freeman got on, my Naga. Morgan Freeman hooped up, my nigga. Look at the con, my nigga. Look at that con, my nigga. He don't look like no African. I am not racist. I don't believe in monkeying around. I'm not going to say because he's brown or melanated that he's African. I am more intelligent than that, my nigga. I know real history. I know the melanated man was found all over the entire earth plane, my nigga. On every piece of land that there was. The Most High said, let there be. Salute, don't be a dummy. They say Morgan Freeman says the term Black History Month and African American are insults. That's what Morgan told you. Uncle Morgan told you. Uncle Morgan, the American, my nigga, the Tamerican, my nigga. He told you, call yourself Black, don't call yourself African American. That's an insult. He said our grandfathers ain't called themselves that. Our grandmothers ain't called themselves that. They call themselves cons, my nigga. He said the actor objected in a UK interview to both saying you're going to relegate my history to a month and that the latter phrase is inaccurate. You say Africa as if it's a country when it's a continent like Europe. Morgan Freeman, see? Morgan got this third eye open, my knocker. He got his third eye open with nice shades on, Morgan. Okay. So sporty ass shades Morgan got on. Morgan the ladies, man, too, man. The ladies love Morgan, man. Ladies do love Morgan, man. I be seeing them. They love Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman has said commonly used terms relating to race should be taken out of the lexicon. In an interview with the Sunday Times, and this was back in this is from 2023 April, but in the interview was before that. The actor has said he was keen to say publicly that he objected. He said, I object to the term Black History Month and African American, calling both an insult. Freeman said of the first, you're going to relegate my history to a month. Freeman said he objects to African American because it was inaccurate. He said African American, he said that is not accurate, my nigga. Just like theory of evolution is not accurate, my nigga. He said I don't subscribe to that title, my nigga. He said I don't subscribe to that title. Black people, that title either. have had different titles all the way black people and niggas and Indians, Negroes and Indians and all other slaves, had different titles all the way back to the N-word. And I do not know how he say all the way back to the N-word. As a matter of fact, look, he said black people. Look, now we finna connect the dot. I wasn't gonna even do this when I'm finna do it since we right here, and I'm gonna jump back to this. We got time. He said, I don't subscribe to that title. Black people have had different titles all the way back to the N-word. Stop right there. All the way back to the N-word. Let's see who the Oxford Dictionary of 1828 tells us who the N-word go back to, because Morgan Freeman said black people. All right, here go the Oxford English Dictionary. Here go the word, the N-word, right? He say what Morgan Freeman just said. Oh, not found. What they doing? Hold on. Oh, they erasing history, my nigga. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Webster. It's probably in Webster too, so we're gonna look at it. I could have swore it was in Oxford though, but we're gonna have to stroll down and get the drop on it. Morgan Freeman just told us. What he just told us. Let me go back to Morgan. Morgan said, he said he don't subscribe to African American. Black people have had different titles all the way back to the N-word. Let's see what the Webster Dictionary tell us who the N-word go back to. N-word, right? Niglet, right? They're gonna say offensive, used as an insulting and contemptuous term for a black person. All right, let's go. I need to get all the way back to the beginning though. This ain't it. It's on the let me go to Google. Maybe Google name. Oxford removed it. I done screenshot it though. I got it in my files. So even if they removed it, I do have it and I can pull it and post it now. Let's see, Oxford definition. I spelled definition wrong. Definition, niglet, right? Let's see. Oxford reference. Let me click on this one first. Yeah, they might not hijack. Yeah, they done hijacked it. They done hijacked it. Cause they know I got it in one of my old lives. I do have the footage where I pulled it up in the old live stream. So even if they done hijacked it, man, they ain't did nothing. It look like they done hijacked it. See, they be watching us, boy, and they erasing. They're watching us and erasing, right? Wow, that's funny. Look, somebody else put it right here on Facebook. Since they don't scrub the internet, let's see somebody. They don't recently scrub that Monaga. Look. That ain't it. Dang, Monaga. I got it in my community. If you go deep back in my community posts, it's in there. That's crazy. Oxford Academy. That's crazy. That is crazy they removed it. I can't believe that. Hey, let me put 1828. I could have swore it was Oxford. It might have been Webster. I ain't looked this one up in a while. But I do got it in my community post. I can't find it right now. We're gonna go back to Morgan Freeman in a second. It varies for offensive word, blah blah blah. Wow, I can't believe they don't have. I know it was Oxford, man. Wow, that's crazy how they the new Oxford. They got the new Oxford. They said, nah, we got rid of that old one. I know it was in this one because it was already highlighted. Nigar. Origin. That's crazy how they done scrubbed it. That's wild. I'm gonna just search Webster one more time just to make sure that I ain't tripping. That's crazy. Just make sure it ain't me. Let's see if I'm tripping. One more search. Nigger definition and meaning. Merriam-Webster. It might have been. don't look the same, man. Like, it was alone, and this can't be it. It was alone. It was alone because you had to stroll way down. See, I'm gonna have to rerun that live stream, man, because they scrubbing it. The fact that I was going to show you is that the origin of the N-word goes back to the American Indian, not the African. It goes back to the black Indians, not the African Managa. They done scrubbed that off. I'm glad I saved it and I got them. I'm gonna have to go back and make sure I put it back up. But that's wild. They're watching us, Managa. They really are watching us. Let's go back. Hey, it's all good though. Let's just go back. He told you to go back to us, right? The American Indians, and I do not know how things got such a grip. He said, I don't subscribe to the title of African American. Black people have had different titles all the way back to the N-word, and I do not know how these things get such a grip, but everyone uses African American. What does it all really mean? Most black people in this part of the world are mongrels, what he said, right? And you say Africa as if it's a country when it's a continent, like Europe. What do you mean by mongrel? You better dig on it. The actors, what he talking? What he talking? Prester John? What he talking about, y'all? He said y'all mongrels. What he talking about? He called you. What he talking about? Prester John, Managa? What he telling you? And you say Africa as if it's a country when it's a continent like Europe. The actor had previously spoken out against both terms to The Guardian in 2012, saying he didn't like African American because black is beautiful, one syllable versus 7. Okay, so he still got a little Confucius, right? As for Black History Month, he said he objected to the ghettoization implicit in the vote in February to this topic. Black history is American history, huh? He gave you some drop. He told you black history is American Indian history, Naga history. He said American history is black history, Managa. He told you they're completely intertwined, Managa. They're complete. He told you black history is American history, Managa. He said they're completely intertwined, Managa. He told you he got to say stuff a certain way. He is in Hollywood, Managa. He got to play ball. He gave you the drop, though. He got to play ball, but he still gave you the drop, though. Salute, try, boy. I say we do real research over here. So when they ask the question, are blacks native to America? Yeah, man, we can look at pictures, we can read all about it. I mean, we can do all of that. I mean, the answer is obvious. If you ain't know, now you know. Hey, salute Malik Bay in the house, tribe, but salute. Malik Bay say his people Muskogee Creek, and it's a lot of knockers in the room right now got Muskogee Creek ancestors. They just don't know it. They hid it from you, of course. They hid it. Some of y'all knockers got Yamasee ancestors. Some of y'all knockers got Yamasee and Creek. Some of y'all knockers got ancestors was a mixture of Creek, Yamasee, all kind of stuff. Y'all don't even know. It was tribal knockers wasn't mixing out. Knockers was marrying other Indians. Just like we read in Hawaii, man. You had to be a Naga from a tribe that they knew you. You wasn't just gonna marry no Luli Kalani, my Naga. Please. You think Leo? You think the great Khan Leo was just married anybody? Hell no. Leo was like, man, you gotta be a sister from the tribe, my Naga. She gotta be from one of the tribes. She gotta be a Khan, my Naga. He say ain't mixing out. Yeah, we find out. Man, I'm Black Jack. This House of Cons, man. Salute to all the members. Salute to all the subscribers. Shots in the air, Managa. One major salute. 5 shots one more time for Ambush Predator. He sponsored the show, Managa. Ambush Predator. Managa made it happen, Managa. Appreciate you big time, brother. I definitely appreciate you. If nobody ain't never told you, Black Jack told you, I appreciate you. 5 shots for Ambush Predator, Managa. Y'all, this House of Cons, Managa. I just wanted to get with y'all. I'm finna get the Patreon popping. I've been working out the kinks. Salute to Sister Sammy. Sammy, I ain't seen you in the chat. Where you at, Sammy? Salute to Sister Sammy, the first Patreon, Managa. Salute to Sammy. Join Patreon, and I ain't even got content on there yet. Sammy, I ain't gonna leave you hanging. Trust me, content coming. I'm just not getting on Patreon, so I'm figuring it all out, working out the kinks. But I got stuff lined up already that I'm about to get with on this Patreon, man. And sooner or later, man, like I say, the majority of the content gonna start when I get enough members on Patreon, the majority of the content gonna move over there. We're gonna still slide on YouTube too, but the majority of the thorough content is gonna go on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting on I get enough members, but I'm finna, but don't get it twisted. I'm finna load Patreon up with content right now, content that ain't on YouTube. So it's gonna be stuff on Patreon that you ain't gonna see on YouTube. So if you want to check out that Patreon, Curtis in the house. I'm trying to say I can't even butcher your name, bro. I said Curtis in the house, try, boy. But yeah, the Patreon finna get lit. I'm working out the kinks. I'm even considering setting up a second studio with I got 2 other computers. I need to set up a second studio where I can leave this set like it is and have another section to do some other stuff with. But man, a lot of stuff in the making, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all travel with me, stay with me, you know what I'm saying? The chosen few, Managa. We don't need everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna be with us. Everybody don't know what we own. Everybody don't know the truth, Managa. You know what I'm saying? And what? But hey, all we need is a dangerous few, Managa. That's all we need. Salute, Tribe Up. And we out. Peace, Tribe Up. Appreciate y'all.